Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, it is so fantastic to be back. I'm finally fully healed from those drunk commentaries, and goddamn, I cannot wait to hear some bald-headed, chubby white boy commentary. ... Cuckin'. Good to see you, sir.
I don't think I need to introduce him. He's here, Curtis Lendenfield.
Hi, I'm here. I'm going to ignore what Dion said and pose a question to you guys. Jeff, you in particular. Have you ever tried the cow pie?
No, what's that?
I do it about once a week. It's where you come inside a fat chick.
Oh. I have connection issues, so I don't want to get attached to someone I don't like permanently. So, I just had to stay away from that. So, we're back. It's a light week this week. Normally we got a bunch of bullshitters, but everyone's out doing something not important, I don't know. But this is episode 71. So tonight, let's start it off as we always do with a shout out to the listener of the week. And that listener this week is Oggs for President. Now, Oggs, you listen to the show every week. You're now my Facebook friend. And for the listeners out there, I made my profile picture J. Jonah Jameson. And Oggs quoted me the entire scene from Spider-Man 2 in my on my photo. So, Oggs, for that alone, you are the listener of the week.
Well done, sir. Well done.
He's a good listener. I mean, you know, I gotta say, like, our regular listeners are all awesome dudes. And we have one woman, Queen Sheena. She listens all the time, so hi to you, too. Thanks for not leaving our channel, like most people do.
Oh, we are up to, like, 2,460 subscribers now, the highest we've ever been at.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. We've had a big jump in subscribers this week, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, so if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are old to the channel, hello. And if you're Dion, go fuck yourself.
And if you're not Dion, Cuckin will probably rape you or watch you fuck his sister. I don't know.
You're not safe from it either.
Well, I didn't say I wanted to be, sir, so joke's on you.
I want to be safe.
But you think, I was at my kids' elementary school this week, and they were doing Girls on the Run. And doesn't that just seem like every pedophile rapist fantasy? Girls on the Run?
No. Yours possibly.
What is
Concerned
Girls on the Run?
We are.
What is that?
I think it's just like where they get a bunch of like elementary school girls and just have them run around the block. But just the name alone sounds tantalizing.
In my neighborhood, the local high schools go running, so you'll see weird teenagers running up and down the streets at all hours of the morning. It's kind of annoying, because I almost hit a couple of them with my car once.
Oh, yeah, that goes on here, too. I'm pretty sure just overall cross-country and track and field kids are just
stupid. Just
overall annoying. Plus, it's like I'm fat and you're running and it pisses me off. You know, like just fucking stop.
It's like, I have a car.
My sister's a cross-country runner, and I have to make fun of her because, one, sports in general are gay. But two, like, running is not a sport. If you think running's a sport, you're a retard. It's like it's saying a pawn is the whole chessboard. It's just a little piece of the whole faggotry of sports as a whole.
Well, I think it's just, you know, sure, that's hilarious and whatnot, but I think a lot of people who may or disagree or agree with you are still kind of hung on the whole pedophile little girls running around the block thing. So to catch them up, sports are dumb, Dustin hates them, he can't run. There we go.
Hey, are you a state trooper yet?
I am not.
Oh. These are some deep cuts this week. I like it. We should have the rest of the guys just quit. I would host a podcast where it's just 2 hours of you guys shitting on each other.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
I'd do a snuff film with Dion. A little German porn.
I'll film it.
We could make some copies. We could definitely sell some copies.
Well, we have to have Nick involved because, you know, he's our amateur porn producer.
Mm.
I mean, the dude's worked with Misty Monday, who we've all seen before, so pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, as always, let's go to the news. News desk, take it away.
Sure, so we got a lot of news stories this week. Darth Vader's comic is getting, I don't want to say it's rebooted, because it's not like undoing what happened before, but there's a new Darth Vader comic called Darth Vader, and it starts at issue 1, which takes place directly after episode 3. It's going to show how he constructed his lightsaber, the fallout from Order 66, how the Inquisitor program was created, which I don't give a shit about, because if it's in a TV show, I don't consider it canon. and that comes out June 7th. And it is being written by Charles Soule and drawn by Giuseppe something Italian.
Camuncci or something like that?
Yeah, yep.
You're not going to like the artwork because that guy draws Spider-Man, and while he's a good artist for Spider-Man, all of his characters have a certain look, and I don't feel like that'll fit Star Wars.
It's funny you say that because I was looking at some of the images from it, and Darth Vader definitely had like a Spider-Man sinewy type body. It was kind of weird.
And it's funny, too, because that guy draws Spider-Man kind of bulky. I'm not saying he draws him, like, overly buff, but I don't feel like that guy's a good fit.
No. Dion, you read some of the actual novels from, like, right after Episode 3 about Darth Vader, right?
Yeah, yep.
What's your favorite one of those? Because wasn't there, like, Labyrinth of Evil, Rise of Darth Vader, and some other...
I mean, I've only read one or two of them. I think the one where it was, there was the Padawan and Darth Vader was specifically hunting him down, and it was based on Coruscant. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it.
I think that was Rise of Darth Vader.
So that Rise of, I think, I read that one. I didn't really, I really didn't, for me personally, didn't enjoy them all that much, mainly because, to have 3 and then episode 4, I wasn't that interested in that time period in between, personally. Okay. I mean, but they were fine. I didn't dislike them, but it wasn't exactly, it wasn't an area of which I was like, okay, I need to go and know what happens here. So, I mean, I wasn't overly interested in those ones.
What's your favorite? Yeah. Right. Well, what's your favorite EU book? And I ask because I just I picked up the first 3 books of the 19-book series, The New Jedi Order. Mm-hmm. And it made me think of all the times what is your favorite EU book?
Oh man, shit! Right on the spot, starting off the show a little saucy. I think I'd have to go with shit, man.
Do you want me to say mine while you think?
Go ahead.
All right, mine's a little lame, but I like The Courtship of Princess Leia. That's my favorite Star Wars book.
Nothing lame about it.
It's just the story of Han Solo and Princess Leia getting married, but it's not like the whole story is not a wedding. Han Solo wins a planet in like a gambling game, and he goes to the planet. There's like remnants of the Empire. There's a lot of action. It's actually a really good book. It does end with their wedding, which is fine, but it's all about the main original characters, and that's the only Star Wars characters I really care about. It's hard for me to I would never really want a book between episodes 3 and 4. Because unless it's only Darth Vader, I just don't... The characters that are there are not, my characters to get invested in.
Sure. Now, we both read, all 3 of us, I'm sure, Shadows of the Empire. I have to go with that. It was my first EU book, and it's still my favorite.
I love the video
we talked about it a lot.
For the wrong reasons.
I love the action figures. Those are some badass action figures. They took the characters we knew and just gave them a twist. I liked that.
I think I had everyone except for Luke Skywalker.
Oh, I had him. He's in like that red armor with the weird Darth Vader shaped helmet.
Yeah, it was a crimson something armor. It had a weird name. I had Chewbacca with a flat top, and for a while that was my only Chewbacca action figure.
Nice.
So I had like Endor Han Solo and that Chewbacca rolling around the Millennium Falcon.
Dion, did you come up with an answer, or do I gotta just move on?
No, I did. I think again off the top of all the ones I read. The conclusion of the Star Cruiser saga, I think was the Kevin J. Anderson books, that trilogy, Hero of the Force or something, Champion of the Force, I think was what it was called.
Oh, okay, yep.
With Kip Duran and obviously the Star Cruiser and what was it, the Sith Lord that was trapped at the old Jedi Temple. I know if I thought about it for a second, I'd be able to remember his name, but the old Sith Lord, and he tries to possess Luke Skywalker, and young Jason Solo has to help him come back to the land of the living, and then, Kip Duran becomes good in this last book, and he, fucking crams himself in the torpedo when he destroys the Star Cruiser, and, they destroy, the last remnant of the Death Star, and then they introduce the fucking... the old Empire base that's in the middle of a fucking cluster of black holes. Even talking about it, that's definitely my favorite one. I like that one a lot.
See, I'm kind of adverse to having black holes and shit in Star Wars because that seems way too Star Trekky, but it didn't sound bad.
Those three. Yeah, I think of all the EU series, that Kevin J. Anderson trilogy is probably, yeah. I mean, overall they're my favorite, but yeah, that last one, Hero of the Force, Champion of the Force. I think that's definitely my favorite one.
Dion, what's the one where Luke turns evil? Dark Empire?
Yeah, that's the one that was. I think for the longest time it was only an ebook. But when the spirit of the Emperor comes back or whatever, and
yeah, he's cloned.
Yeah, his clone comes back. Yeah, that one. I see that they reference it a lot in the EU books, but it wasn't that good. I mean, that one specifically, I tried reading it, and it's not like them. The reference points in the other books are better than the actual book. And like I said, it was an ebook for the longest time, so it was a fucking hassle to read it for me. And that one was just a cavalcade of bullshit. I did not like that one.
I listened to the audio drama recently, and it was a lot of fun because they had actors playing each role, and they actually had Billy D. Williams do Lando's voice.
Oh, nice.
So, and they had like all the sound effects and shit. So it was nice to listen to when I was drawing. It wasn't the greatest story, but it wasn't where Chewbacca got crushed by a moon. So I liked it.
Right. That fucking story still hurts my soul. I teared up in that book. So fuck you and fuck Hillary for continuously bringing that shit up. God fucking damn it.
I think I'm gonna make you a T-shirt that just says Chewbacca got crushed by a moon or something.
You know what? I would much rather read Cuckin's old blog posts from college and have to go through wear that goddamn T-shirt.
We can arrange both.
So Sci-Fi Channel. It's been shit for a long time. They're rebooting. It's true.
I'm sorry, just the way you delivered that. It's been shit for some time.
Yeah. Well, it's about to celebrate its 25th anniversary on June 19th, and they're actually launching. Pretty much, they're rebooting the station. They're giving it a new logo. They're reconfiguring their programming. They're bringing on new shows that are going to focus explicitly on sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal, and superhero stuff, which includes Krypton and one of George R.R. Martin's other novels brought to life. So, what do you guys think of sci-fi? It's had some gems on it.
He has more than fucking Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he has a bunch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a fantasy guy. But to answer your question, Sci-Fi Channel used to be exciting because we never had cable growing up, so I'd go to people's houses, and if I spent the night, I'd get up and watch like Sci-Fi Channel because they had weird shit like Mystery Science Theater, Star Trek, The Twilight Zone, all kinds of great shit. And that's where I saw The Thing for the first time. And then it got stupid, and that's where it is now.
I mean, whenever they would play reruns of great sci-fi movies, that'd be great. You know, I never was into Mystery Science 3000, but when fucking SmackDown is the most original thing that you've had for the last 10 years, you're in fucking trouble. And I cannot, even with them rebooting it, I can't trust the station that had Joey fucking Lawrence star in one of their movies. I can't fucking trust you at that point. So, you know, I mean, I hope they do well. A part of me was sad when SmackDown went back to USA, but I mean, if they pull it off, more power to them. Shit.
What about ECW? That's their crowning
achievement. Are we gonna count that or?
That's their crowning achievement. But doesn't Sharknado and all that shit originate from Sci-Fi?
I was gonna bring that up. One of the comments I read on the article was, "So does this mean Sharknado 15 is getting pushed back?" And I thought that was funny.
Have you guys seen the Sharknado movies?
Oh yeah, who doesn't want pilled up Tara Reid? I mean, that's Dustin's fucking dream woman right there.
I want pilled up Tara Reid to come to my house and let me do whatever I want to her.
She probably would.
Give her a cow pie or whatever.
Like if you gave her a text, she'd be like, "Okay, on my way." OMW.
We could have some fun, Tara Reid. I'll try not to get you pregnant. Remember when her tit popped out on the red carpet?
Yeah, and then it was like right after she broke up with what's his nuts. Fucking girl, Cuckin knows who we're talking about. But I was just like, I remember thinking like, damn, Tara, shit's pretty bad right now.
I always think of her as the girl from American Pie who won't put out, and then her boyfriend goes down on her.
See, it's funny that you brought up American Pie because literally every time you talk about Tara Reid, the first thing I think of is the reunion movie where she goes, "What's up, class of 99ers?" And I'm like, "Ooh, Tara, hey."
I'm just like, oh my god, 99. It's really messed up. I went to the liquor store the other day, and they're like, you must have been born in 1996 to buy liquor. I'm like, oh man, I remember 1996. I feel old.
We actually mentioned it. We went to see Guardians. My sister Hillary and I all went, and I was like, God damn, 96, and the dude in front of us looked. He goes, I know, right? God damn. And we just all kind of had a laugh. But I was like, fuck, 96 now is the limit. God, fuck.
Like, I remember...
Great story, Mark.
I was just going to say, I remember watching the Olympics and shit in 96 and being so excited, like, oh my god, second grade.
I was in Atlanta during the Olympics. I didn't see the bomb go off, but hey, we can't all be perfect, right?
It was your fault.
Ah, shit.
Bitch.
So Image Comics is doing, on 11 of their books, what they're calling Pride covers, where they're converting books like The Walking Dead and Bitch, or whatever the name of it is, and stuff like that, to have gay symbols on it. For instance, Walking Dead's is one of the characters stabbing a zombie in the chest with a gay pride flag.
That's a bit much, guys. That's a bit much. I mean, obviously, Cuckin's view of it would change if there was a dick on the cover, but other than that, fucking dial it back, guys.
I just know that anything comic book related that tries to be too socially conscious, I just pass up instantly. Sorry, Image. I respect your guys' origins, but as a fan of comics and somebody that wants to break in, I would personally, if I had a book at Image right now and they asked me to do that, I'd have said no. There would be no hesitation. Like, I don't want to be associated with any kind of politics, because you hurt yourself either way. If you promote gay rights or you don't, or you're anti-gay rights, you know what I'm saying? Like, either way, you can't win.
No,
so if you stay right down the middle, and whatever your character is for that month is just finishing off his story arc, no one is going to really bat an eyelash at it. So this seems disingenuous, as everything in the comic book industry feels like. And
it's just so fucking heavy-handed. It'll be like, oh, we're stabbing him with a fucking pen that has LBGT on it, and it's like, God, who the fuck is like, hey, let me grab this pen, because fuck zombies. And
did you say it was a flag being stabbed into a zombie's chest?
Yeah, it's a full flag.
Well, the book's in black and white, so it's just a flag with stripes on it.
Well, and those people don't even fucking read comic books. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, gay people do read comic books. Hell, a gay guy owns my comic book store. But I get what you're saying. I'm just fucked. Dude, there are so few times where I could just take what you said and railroad you with it. And this is the time I'm going to stop. But I could have kept it going. Could have kept it going.
You threw in the railroad thing, so I give you points for that one.
It's been a good day, man. I had a couple beers. I'm very happy.
I could have fucking gangbanged you on that last one, but I fucking said not to, bro.
I'm going to see you for Hall & Oates next week. I want to be nice. I want our experience to be fun.
Blinding eyes ain't going to fucking stop me, man.
Good. You man-eater.
So Black Lightning, who was DC's first black hero to get his own standalone comic book issue, is getting his own TV series on the CW network, and he will be played by the Heart of Dixie's Cress Williams.
Oh, what the...
Are you guys familiar with Black Lightning? Because this is the first time I've ever heard of him.
I've never heard of Cress Williams.
I don't. Well, the minute that you said CW, I was like, they're gonna pick some fuck up, and sure enough, Crest sounds like a dude who works for fucking CW.
His initials are CW.
Well, boom. That's thanks CW. WB didn't have shit on you.
This is a series I have no interest in watching, just like Flash or Gotham or Arrow or Supergirl or Black. I don't know. There's no Black Canary series. My point is, I don't do superheroes on TV.
I mean, I like Black Lightning's part in Final Crisis, but other than that, I'm not like, oh shit, Black Lightning, where's the thunder? He's black.
If they have to bring a black superhero to TV, they should bring the Prowler over at Marvel to TV, because that character's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Why not do Blade? Have a Blade TV series with
modern
technology.
That, and which was perfect because that was on Sci-Fi, and it was bad.
It was on Spike, bro.
Was this? I thought it was Sci-Fi.
Huh. It may have reruns on Sci-Fi, but it was on Spike, I'm pretty sure, originally.
You could be right. I just remember being fucking dog shit. It
flopped terribly, but I would like a Blade TV series with Wesley Snipes.
He ain't doing shit else right now. Unless you're doing Passenger 58.
Is he still in prison for tax evasion?
No, he got out. He did Expendables 3, and they literally made the worst reference joke where it was like, where you been? What'd they lock you up for? Tax evasion. And there's literally a pause in the film, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, okay, Wes, thanks.
Wesley Snipes is a victim of the most racist thing I've ever said in my entire life.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Dan and I were at some movie, and there was a trailer for Expendables 3. I said, "Hey, look, it's a shadow with teeth," and he just couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, "God, that's a little cold. I can't believe I said that." I was a little ashamed. Whatever.
I just remember that part in Dave Chappelle. It was like, before Wesley Snipes, we were the darkest motherfuckers on the planet.
Ah! Hey, R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. I still miss you.
R.I.P. man.
So their new X-Men TV series is coming out. It's been officially greenlit by Fox for the 2017-2018 season, and it is called The Gifted, and it centers around two parents who have a child who is a mutant, and you watch their struggles as their child tries to integrate with society.
It's the same universe as Legion or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Legion was good. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm on the much better Netflix Marvel bandwagon for TV shows. But I mean, if it is it going to be on FXX or FX or whatever?
It says Fox. I think FXX is that Deadpool thing we're going to get to. This one just says straight up Fox.
Gotcha. I mean, like I said, I'm not excited about X-Men anymore. I'm not excited. I wasn't excited about Legion. My lack of excitement continues for this shit.
I'm not going to watch it. I hate to sound like the stubborn old guy that I'm not, but they haven't delivered anything good on TV for superheroes in years. I mean, Dion, back me up, or at least help me think of some superhero shows that didn't suck dick.
No,
I mean Smallville. I hated that show.
No. See, and that's hey, we agree, right? Lackey, fuck that guy. No, but Smallville's a perfect example because it started out pretty good, and then what always happens with superhero shows on TV, especially when they go to networks like the CW or WB, they want to we'll put teen drama in the shit, and for so long Smallville had a huge gap of shit that was terrible, and then they got back to Superman with the Phantom Zone and the Zoners breakout, and that was when Kane and Batista was on the show. And like they brought Brainiac into it, and then again they immediately went back to that teen drama bullshit where Doomsday was Starkiller. The dude that played Starkiller played Doomsday, and he was in love with fucking Superman's childhood friend. Like that. It always they don't have. It's weird because they have enough material to make a good show, but they go with shit that doesn't go with the material, and that's. I mean, Supergirl isn't good. I mean, Legends of Tomorrow isn't up to that level of what we would expect. I mean, it's been a super long time since there's been a good TV show. I mean, I'd say, decades. I mean, I can't think of one before the early 2000s.
Why don't we? Here's the thing. I know the movies are where the money's made, and I understand that from a business point of view. But these channels, these studios, they keep giving us shows on the periphery of the shit we want to see. So, like, for me personally, I'd love to see a Spider-Man TV series that is on Netflix that comes out, once a year, and it's a bunch of different shit about him fighting, like, street-level villains, and then tease to the movie that comes out every 2 years with something big. I'd like that kind of unity. Maybe there's a story where Captain America goes around the country or something. I don't know, but the shit that's on TV is like the B players, and these aren't Daniel Bryan B players. These are like Kmart players that nobody fucking cares about.
Well, even when they have players you care about, it's weird because like in Cuckin, feel free to back me up. I think you would be familiar with this, but like my issue has always been, especially with fucking networks like CW. There's and going back to what we talked about before, there's always this weird ass, we're trying to do this progressive thing at the detriment of our property, but we're reinforcing bullshit from old TV shows. Like for the longest time, CW was like, oh well, we have a female CEO and female writers, which okay is good, but then when you write bullshit that only teenage girls want to see, you ruin shows like Smallville. And like, especially at the time when it finally was done after 10, 11 seasons, it was more like it was less of a send off for a good show and more like putting Old Yeller down. Like it was like way past his time.
Yep, the only decent part of Smallville I remember was the very last moment where he puts on the Superman return suit and flies into space with a CGI cape.
Yeah, and even then, that was just like it took.
That's also known as the last 5 minutes of the entire series.
Right. I mean, like I said, it's so sporadic. It's so, and you wouldn't think it'd be hard to make a TV show. You've got issues and issues and issues of content, and they just like, well, let's put a high school will they won't they bullshit in there, or let's put, hey, he is trying to get this girl, and at the last minute, this shit keeps happening. It's like this is not what we were reading, and you wonder why the shit doesn't last long. Like even now with Supergirl, it's like we got to make sure she looks like a model and not like a person who's been fighting for the last 30 minutes.
You can see, by the way, she was a victim, in quotations, of the fappening, so if you want to see Supergirl take a dick, just Google it. It's out there.
We'll be doing that right now, actually.
No, but Dion, to jump off what you're saying, like, you brought up the teen drama aspect. They keep marketing all this shit towards teens, but teens today that I've interacted with, don't like this shit. Teens today are dumber than ever. They're not watching TV. Why not okay, like, for example, a great long-running superhero show could be The Punisher, where literally every week The Punisher's after a different villain, a different crime boss, in the vein of like a Breaking Bad, that kind of level of seriousness, you know? Bring a level of intensity and stuff like that, and then, don't have a will they, won't they relationship, make a series about a guy who, is coming to terms with his dead family and shit. And I know before anyone in the comments goes on, yeah, there's a Netflix series. I'm just trying to think of a superhero that would work on network television long form.
Well,
is her name Melissa Benoist?
Yep.
Okay, I don't like her because she makes the guy wear a condom.
Of course not.
Well, I don't like condoms either.
Yeah, she's fine as hell, though.
Yep.
I just want to know who's taking these pictures of her.
Probably them. That's why I never have any sympathy for the celebrities that get hacked, because it's not like someone took photos of you when you were sleeping or taking a shit. It's like, no, you took photos of yourself naked to send to someone. You got caught, and then I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? No. The only person I wish I never saw nude was Charlotte Flair and Leslie Jones.
Oh, God. I saw Charlotte. I'm convinced that my theory is correct, that used to be David Flair.
Yeah. That is not a good-looking woman.
So we got more news.
Thank God.
As Dion alluded to earlier, there's going to be a Deadpool animated series. It's going to be on FXX. It's going to be 10 episodes long, and it is being executively produced by Donald Glover.
Yay, Donald Glover. Everyone's favorite black nerd that no one actually likes.
I don't think he's talented. I don't understand the big obsession with, was it Childish Gambino?
Yeah. Or
anything like that.
I think he just fits into a demographic that marketers want to pander to. So he's like Patton Oswalt and Will Wheaton and all these guys that are on everything, but he's not one of the people that everyone wants to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
why
but
is
he's
Lando
just
Calrissian?
I don't know. There's just one problem. He's not any good.
I wonder whatever happened to that.
Fuck
actress,
you for that.
But no, he keeps popping up in everything. He's the voice of the not white Spider-Man in the movie. Obviously, like you brought up, he's Lando Calrissian. Like he's like Michael B. Jordan. They we need a black guy. We got two options: Michael B. Jordan or Don Glover.
Let's go with option C. Neither. There's plenty of fine black actors, like the guy that plays Luke Cage. What's his name? Mike Coulter. I like that guy as an actor. He's likable. Donald Glover's just not fucking funny to me.
Yeah.
Dion.
I mean, my problem is that he's very average. Like he's that friend that when you're in a extended conversation with him, he's not consistently funny or interesting, but every once in a while he's the fucking Dan of like Hollywood right now. Every once in a while he'll say something funny, but he can't keep up with everyone. And fucking Community was on, and everyone loved him and the fucking Indian dude. Like, oh, they're so funny, even though none of them watched it. And then I like his music, but again, he's not the best dude in hip hop. He's good enough where I'll listen to it. And then I didn't
good
see.
Enough.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh my god, Atlanta, and then Atlanta won an Emmy or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, it's so funny. And again, I'm just like, I feel like I saw the preview. That's all I need to see about this show. It's good enough. I mean, good job for you. And it's like, but then, oh, he's gonna be an executive producer for fucking Deadpool, so he's gonna fucking come up with 2 or 3 scenes, and he's gonna get a credit, and then they're gonna be like, oh, that Donald Glover dude, he is fucking talented. Look at that picture from Atlanta. They got fucking peaches in their mouths. That guy's funny. Like, come on, he's not that fucking funny. He's funny, but not like, hey, let's give him a TV show funny.
He's the it guy right now. He's the token black comedian. I'm trying to think of an equivalent, like from the '90s. He's like Eddie Griffin was in the '90s. Remember Eddie Griffin? If you're probably listening to this show, you don't remember Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin was on a TV show, Malcolm and Eddie. He was in a handful of movies. And then
Malcolm from the Cosby Show.
Yeah, that was actually a decent show. They owned a bar. 2 black dudes owned an Irish pub.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. Like, that's why one of the reasons I love the '90s so much is like at least a lot of dudes who came out of that, comedians and whatnot. At least they were at least tested with their own show, right? And then you have Donald Glover. They're like, oh man, that Atlanta show is so funny. You're in everything now, and it's like, dude, like, fucking Jesus, calm down. Like, it wasn't even that great of a show. That's the best reaction I have for Donald Glover. Like,
Let's talk about the important thing. Will Ryan Reynolds do the voice of Deadpool?
Hell no.
No, they won't have that kind of money.
They're not gonna risk it either. They're not gonna be like, okay, in case this show is shit, we can trim the fat and be done with it. They're not gonna fucking risk putting Ryan Reynolds on that property.
I think he would volunteer to do it. I think he's like most people that play superheroes. It's a paycheck. Maybe they don't hate it, but it's not like they're invested. Maybe he's just that good of an actor, but I believe Ryan Reynolds enjoys playing Deadpool that much that he would volunteer. Not for free, obviously, but he would take whatever the pay would be to do it.
I don't know, man. I know that apparently, it's been his pet project for the longest time, trying to get Deadpool made, and but I think he learned his lesson real hard with Green Lantern, and that's primarily why he's sticking with these fucking like non-franchise tied movies and small film movies. And I mean, I think he's going to be very protective of Deadpool from here on out, man. I mean, like I said, I just don't see him risking. Okay, if this is bad, it's going to have my fucking voice on it, and I don't think he'll risk that.
I don't think FXX can risk it being bad because Deadpool's not. Look, Deadpool had a movie and it made a lot of money, but there are tons of movies that come out and make. Like, for the first Fantastic Four came out and made a lot of money, so they made a sequel and it sucked and it killed the franchise. So anything can tank a franchise. I think FXX is really going to be. That's why I think they're having Donald Glover's name so heavily appearing in the press releases, because people are like, "Oh, it's that guy that's always attached to that cool hippie trends or hip trendy stuff." So people are gonna like see that name and go, "Oh, it's in good hands." But I don't know. I could see Ryan Reynolds popping up to do the voice because at this point he is the role,
Right.
Like Hugh Jackman would voice Wolverine and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So Tobey Maguire did all the voice work for Spider-Man in the games and related media, besides the movie. So I mean, maybe Ryan Reynolds will. That's the one thing I'd like to see happen the most, because I'm gonna check the show out online, and I'd like to hear Ryan Reynolds' voice, because at this point in time, that's the only voice I associate with it.
Well, I'm going to ask you right now, let's say that he doesn't get attached to the project. Who would be the best, most suitable replacement to play Deadpool?
Donald Glover. You know that black guy that's in Atlanta? Haven't you heard of him? He's so great.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw him in Community, man. That guy is funny.
He's way better than Chevy Chase ever was.
Oh.
I hate to say it, but a lot of voice actors don't matter to me. So if it sounds kind of like Ryan Reynolds, I'll be happy.
Okay.
He just has to sound like a white guy that's not too bassy. And it's all about the performance too, you know.
Dion, did you ever play the Deadpool video games?
You know what? I played the demo, or no, it was they had one of those demos or whatever in the store. I never bought them, but from the small amount that I played, I thought it was funny. I never, like I said, never bought it, but I liked it from the small sample size I had, and I've heard nothing but good things about the Deadpool games.
Do you remember at all what the guy's voice sounded like?
You know what? I don't. Well, you know that voice actor's name?
No, I was just wondering if you could remember the voice, if you thought it was like a good fit for Deadpool or not, because they could just use whoever that was.
You know what? I can't. The first voice that came to my mind, and Jeff will recognize the name. I'm sure you will too, Cuckin. Was Raymond Ramon, the dude that did Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1 games.
You mean Reno Romano?
Reno Romano, thank you. And he did Raymond Ramon. What the fuck? But he also, but he did.
Like a shitty pirate.
He did that. He did Bruce Wayne and Batman in the WB series, the '07 one, the Batman. His voice, for some reason, I really enjoy. And if he were to do Deadpool, I'd fucking watch it. I'd pay attention to it.
By the way, Nolan North is the voice of Deadpool in the video game, and I think he's also
the voiceover character of everyone.
Yeah, like Nathan Drake. That guy's got to be worth so much money at this point.
Oh hell yeah! Because video games, they fucking pay those dudes a lot of money if it works, if it fits too. Shit.
So Jeff, here's some news that you're gonna love. There is a Roseanne Revival coming. It's going to be 8 episodes long, and it's currently shopping for a network.
Now, I had heard about this, and they're supposed to be bringing back John Goodman. John Goodman died on the show.
It wasn't real, bro.
So I'm okay with this, depending on if they bring back the original Becky. I don't want to see Sarah Chalk. I want the original Becky.
I have nothing to add because I never wasted time with this show, but I remember you mentioning it before.
The only reason I will watch Roseanne is because there's a TV in my mom's room and we lost the remote. So sometimes I'll be hanging out there in the night talking to her, and the TV will be on, and Roseanne comes on, and I'll just sit there and watch because I don't feel like getting up to look for the remote.
Oh, I wish Phil was here. We'd try to get him to do a Roseanne voice.
That's his favorite show. He told me Roseanne reminds him of his mom.
Oh, God. Oh. Other TV shows. Judge Dredd is getting a TV show, and it's going to be called Mega City 1. And it's going to follow a group of judges in the 22nd century as they seek to maintain order in the East Coast megaplex, which houses 400 million people, all of whom are potential criminals.
I used to not like Judge Dredd until I started reading the old comics, and I'm excited for this show. The only thing I'm worried about is, since it's called... What's the name of the show again?
Mega City 1.
I'm worried that Judge Dredd's going to be not an important part.
Yeah, I'm scared that we're going to get brief glimpses of him, and occasionally he'll pop up. But yeah, the way that I read the synopsis is it's going to follow a group, not necessarily with him in it, just other judges.
Now, the only way I would be okay with him not being in every episode is if they actually got Carl Urban, the guy that plays him in the movie, to pop up as Judge Dredd, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a season. Then I would be okay with that. But this goes back to what I was harping on earlier. Why can't we just make a TV show about the character? Why has it got to be about the world of the character? Because the thing is, they might be making the show to gauge popularity of Judge Dredd. Well, you're going to make a show about Judge Dredd without Judge Dredd. So if people aren't going to watch it, that's not a good indicator of the popularity of the character. It's an indicator of a group of characters no one knows about. Like in America, Judge Dredd is not a big brand.
I just watched Judge Dredd with a friend of mine again recently. That's a really fucking good movie, and I don't understand why it flopped.
The marketing was horrible. I remember when it was out, and Hill and I went and saw it, obviously because you guys know my love of the horrible Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd. And Jeff and I talked about this before. My little familiarity with the comic book, I went and saw it, but they did not promote that movie until off the top of my head, literally until like 2 weeks before it came out. Like it was ridiculous. I mean, I specifically remember having a conversation with Hillary about how did we not know about it? How did we not hear anything about it? I think the only thing the closest thing that was put out for that movie was when a few YouTube channels got the preview like a month or so or a couple months before it came out. And I mean, it killed the fucking movie. I mean, I know that the dude, what's his name, the director, he did Addy Acker or whatever, he did that Power / Rangers, and that's what he was talking about in one of his videos, was that if they don't feel that it's going to do well, they just won't promote it, and that's what fucking murdered the movie. And I mean, luckily everyone was kind of like, yeah, it's gonna be a cult classic, because a lot of people who see it love it. But like I said, they barely did any promotion for that movie. And it was in 3D, and they didn't promote that movie.
Yeah, I saw it in 3D right as it opened. It was a good movie. I didn't like the Stallone one because I saw it as a little kid and I thought it was stupid.
That's because you have tastes, dude.
I just remember the part at the beginning, I am the law! And he just pops up and he takes off his helmet the whole time, which you're not supposed to do when you're Judge Dredd.
Yes.
The old comics are kind of weird, a little bit hokey, but if
because they're British, man.
I understand they're British, but they're trying to be hardcore, and British people aren't. They're too polite to be hardcore, Even their punks are like, sorry, as they beat you up or attempt to beat you up.
Yeah, they don't have guns. They're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah, come to America, my friend.
Better show them what's up and suck their dick or something.
If you took the hardest core punk from England and dropped him into like the middle of Detroit at night, that dude's gonna get raped and murdered.
Well, the coolest thing that British punks ever had is when Gary Oldman played fucking Sid Vicious. That's like the fucking coolest that they've gotten, and it's like, well, that's you guys got that going for you. You got Michael Caine. That's cool. He shoots dudes.
Well, I know some of our friends over in the UK are going to be like, hey, you're wrong about the British punk scene, and I'm just going to go, I know I'm wrong about it because I don't care.
They'll be like, we whipped your guys' ass in the one war we fought against you, so.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. 240 years later, and you can still kiss our asses.
No, we don't mean it by our shit. And so, the latest comics, big controversy here. A few months back, we had Captain America being revealed to be like the top Hydra guy. New controversy that came here on Free Comic Book Day, and that was the revelation that Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, has found evil Nazi Captain America worthy to wield it. Bunch of people are bitching about it. How could this be? I don't really care because I haven't followed that comic book series since the first issue. What do you guys think?
I'm with you. I don't give a shit. Fuck Marvel. And by the way, listeners, I put out a video talking about Marvel, how they're begging you to buy their titles. That's how embarrassingly bad they are. And you were bringing up, you don't give a shit. It looks like most people don't give a shit because I was reading the sales figures today, and the writer Nick Spencer took to Twitter and said, hey, Secret Empire, April's #1 comic. But if you look at the actual sales, it was like 163,000 books, which is a lot for a comic book. But Batman #21 had like 162,000 plus an additional 89,000 for like a holographic cover, taking it to what, 100 or 250,000 books or something. And it was a lie, and it just goes to show you how desperate Marvel is. They even fake their fucking numbers.
Yeah, and wasn't that issue actually given out for free on Free Comic Book Day?
I'm holding it right here in my hand. I'm holding it right here in my hand.
How can you tell me it has the highest sales and it had the highest like giveaway, but to say people actually bought it is bullshit?
I think a lot of so I worked Free Comic Book Day. For the listeners out there, I do draw and stuff, and I worked Free Comic Book Day, and I decided to gauge the room, per se, to see how people are feeling about Marvel. And I didn't hear, honestly, this isn't an exaggeration just for the podcast, no one had anything positive to say about the Marvel books. Everyone was bitching about something, be it the art, the story. A lot of people surprisingly picked up on the agenda that I always complain about. Like, a lot of people were like, yeah, that's true, it's a little heavy-handed this time. And I just wonder if Marvel is trying to put itself out of business at this point. Not out of business, but like to stop publishing comic books, you know? I think what they're hoping is that they can eventually stop worrying about comics and just make movies that are based on nothing and people are going to go see it.
I wouldn't doubt that one fucking second, and especially all the arguments that we've had politically, even I'm just like, yo, what the fuck, man? You know, and not only that, but I mean, especially when, you know, you fucking shattered my world when, you know, they were, you know, was pretty much well-known knowledge, you know, and obviously I'm not the one that follows comic sales or anything, but when they were, you know, sabotaging Fantastic Four and ended that. I mean, if they were willing to do that to what they deem as the first family, I have absolutely no doubt seeing them trying to force all the readers to the movie properties and the TV show. I wouldn't put that past them one fucking bit. Not at all.
The only character they can never kill fully will be Spider-Man, because that is their bread and butter.
I mean, they literally killed Wolverine. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like,
I mean,
what?
I should, as a Spider-Man fan, I should be happy that, oh, Spidey's always safe, but as like a comic book reader, the universe he lives in is so poorly done right now that even me, somebody who has like 80% of all the books that have ever been published about Spider-Man, and that has dedicated thousands of hours to drawing and shit, if you're losing me, you gotta be doing something wrong, because normally I'm like the most excited for these books. Like, you remember how I would get pumped over certain series, like Daredevil? For the last couple of years, I would text you, like, dude, the new Daredevil's amazing. And you're like, I'm gonna go
when
pick it up eventually.
We went to California, you were like, yo, I read this one, you convinced me to buy a fucking, that collection of Daredevil, that one series, whereas the original Sin series. I was like, okay, sweet, I'll buy it. You know, that... When that guy is telling you, hey, they're shitting in the bed, you need to really reevaluate what the fuck's happening right now.
And it's really not a hard thing for them to do to fix the mistakes they're making. Basically, what you need to do is you need to tell a good story of good versus evil. Yes, I like gray areas, and I think that's really interesting, but that's not for everyone. That's not for Captain America. That's not for... Spider-Man's a little different. He can be a little more morally ambiguous here and there, but like, pick your characters. If you need to tell that kind of story, use Wolverine, use the Punisher, use those kind of things. Use Daredevil. He would be the best one. I love when Daredevil's like between good and evil. You know, he's like, am I gonna follow the law that I live by, and you know, my Catholic roots and all that stuff, or is he gonna, you know, take down crime the easy way and shit? Those are the good gray area stories, I'd like to say. But Captain America is supposed to be your moral compass, and you fucked up that like his most defining trait. You fucked it up, and you expect people to be happy.
But the worst thing about that, and like I said, and this is getting a little real. I absolutely love arguing with the two of you about Captain America, right? But for me, he's still the gold medal. So when you take something that everyone accepts, you know, he can hold Mjolnir. We love that, because one of the things is as righteous as he is, the dude's a warrior. But you fucking mix that with, oh, well, he's with Hydra now. So you try to backdoor people's interest into that character and in that story, like, hey, he can hold Mjolnir, but it's still fucking, he's with Hydra. And it's like, what? Like, it's a weird... You're trying to put this weird concoction together. You're trying to bait the people who know the character, but you're still trying to bring people in. Hey, we're doing something that's against what we've been doing for the sake of doing it. And it's like, guys, come on.
Well, it's funny. My friend Kenny, he listens to the show. Awesome guy. But he and I have been talking a lot for the past actually like 2 years or so about how there's almost like this hidden trend in Disney and Marvel and these big companies that they're almost trying to normalize evil or even glorify it. And so with like Battlefront 2 coming out, you're the bad guys, and you know what? Hey, you understand them now and you empathize with them because they were just doing what they thought was right too. And then you get Captain America, the ultimate symbol of goodness and morality and all those other things you guys have already pointed out. And then you turn him evil, and now he's worthy of wielding that hammer. What does that say? That says that, oh, this evil Nazi ideology, it's not bad. In fact, it's valiant. You know why he's worthy? Because he truly believes in it. And there's no good or bad. It's all a matter of perspective. And I think Kenny has agreed with me. He brought it up, and I think it ties into this. Like, we're living in a time when black and white are flipped, and when what's right normally is told, you're told that it's wrong, and what's wrong you're told is right. So I think it's very interesting times, and this is just another example of that kind of virus spreading through society.
Do you think, though, in time, through the passage of time, people will realize I hate to use such a blue-collar phrase, but what a fucked up, retarded time we're living in? Do you think within a couple years people will look back on, I don't know, let's say 2014 through 2020 is like this really bizarre time that they look back on and kind of just shun, like, like the entertainment will be passé, the politics of the time, all that stuff?
No, I think it's going to progressively get worse because what happens is, one of the laws of the universe is entropy, right? Things go from order to disorder. I think that's what's going to keep happening is as we keep going, as fucked up political ideologies and movements keep spreading and infecting people younger and younger and indoctrinating them in ways they can't even comprehend, we're going to keep raising these generations that keep moving towards that cliff, that are going to keep thinking again that black is white and white is black and so forth. And so I don't think it's going to get any better. I think it can only get worse. I wish it could get better, but it won't.
I think we're at a time where this, I'm just going to use the phrase progressive time for, everything, just as, a blanket phrase. I think we're about at a point where, we're at a tipping point where it's about to end, and I think we're going to regress a little bit. I'm not advocating for that, but I don't think we're going to have this with your black-white flip thing. I think we're almost, at the breaking point where common people, the internet and Disney and stuff like that aren't your everyday people. They're, the internet's an echo chamber, and Disney's a company that, it's the biggest entertainment company in the world, but the shit that they've put out lately is not the shit that's going to be remembered forever. They're going to be remembered for Mickey Mouse and all that other timeless shit, and I do mean shit, because Warner Brothers always put out better cartoons. But I think people are just going to, not forget, but I think people are going to look back on this as as a phase. I'm not saying everyone's just going to forget it completely to where it all goes back to normal, but I think, if anything, this kind of stuff's going to turn off people. Because look at the response. If this order that Disney was shooting for was working, we'll just use them, I don't think we'd have blog articles and people bitching about stuff. We wouldn't have me making videos like, you're fucking up, and Marvel wouldn't be begging you to read their storylines. I think people are smarter than these companies give them credit for, and I think it's going to hurt these companies in the long run because they're going to do something that's going to open up some people's eyes. Like, wow, this was a really fucked up. Songs of the South was a racist, shitty movie. Disney's going to put out something on the other end of the spectrum, and it's really going to turn people off. And I'm not saying Disney's going to go out of business or anything extreme, but people are going to go, huh? And then it's going to be like in the end of They Live when they blow up that transmitter. Maybe not everyone in the world's going to see the news broadcast, but enough people are going to look at it and go, oh, this is kind of fucked up. I don't think we're going to live in this disarray forever.
No, I got to disagree because I use my siblings as the litmus test. This generation below us three are so fully ingrained in the internet. All they do all day, they are connected to devices that give them instant access to this stuff. And just knowing my sister, she gets in fights with my parents because she has gay friends. To them, that's normal. If you say anything bad about that sort of thing, you're a bad person. And so this whole, like I said, you put that shit in the minds of people younger and younger and younger through their entertainment. Because I don't watch all the stuff my kids watch. My parents don't watch all the stuff my sister does. So they just keep slipping that stuff in. You normalize it. And then you tell them, hey, and if people disagree with what we're teaching you, they're the bad ones. And so I think we're getting to this kind of, like we did with the last election, this kind of cultural generational rift. You got the old people that right now are in power that go out and vote conservative. You got the liberals that say they care but are too fucking lazy to get out and do anything. But eventually, it's going to be oversaturated with all the people that are my sister and brother's ages, when they get to the point where they're in power, that shit's been in their mind for decades, and to them it's normal, and that's what scares me.
The reason I don't get too scared is the people under them, I don't think are going to be, like, and I'm not saying they're kids, I'm saying, like, your sister's, what, 15, 16?
15, yep.
So the kids that are, like, D2's age, remember, you got somebody like Dion as a parent. Now, Dion's a lot more liberal than either of us are, but even Dion doesn't take it to that extreme level. I think you're going to have more level-headed parents raising the next generation, and it's going to be like in the 80s. You had the whole, like Family Ties. Michael J. Fox's parents are like hippies, and he's a real conservative guy, and it's about how they deal with that. I think you're going to have a weird generational gap where you have people that are your siblings' age, and you have people that are D2's age, and they're not going to see eye to eye, and there's going to be, I think people like in the D2 generation will be a little more calling for like the traditional aspect as opposed to this weird radical aspect. And because I think a lot of people are getting turned off to this shit. Like me, somebody who always was liberal and voted Democrat and all this shit. These extremist people have turned me off to like even any kind of cause. It's like, no. Like the crazy ones have made me go the other way, and I'm not looking back because the other side, while not always preferable, is a little more rational, you know? These what was it, the Antifa people and all these crazy demonstrators and shit like that. It's just like, if you are the symbol of this ideology, then I'll go the other way just to spite that shit. I can't be around it. But I think the younger people are going to come up and realize how retarded this is, and then it's going to go back. Not back, but it's going to be like, I think it's going to be a footnote in history. Dion,
maybe. You guys remember my old roommate?
Which one?
My first roommate.
Oh, the one, okay, yeah.
He and I were having this similar discussion, and he kind of has your theory that you know, the balance between liberalism and conservatism is cyclical. So like you said, every generation, like my kids, Dion's kids, they're going to be more conservative than this in-betweener, and it's just going to keep undulating like that throughout time. So I just wanted to bring that up, that he shares that same idea.
Well, I mean, if you look at like people in my family, it's a pretty conservative family. And then there's me, who you would think would be one way, but I think because of what I've seen, I go the other way. And when I have kids, I mean, I'm not going to be... like, here's the thing. I don't think being conservative means you hate gay people, or you hate black people, or this and that.
No, you just don't consider them people. Yep, keep going.
No, I'm in the weird area where it's like, I don't care if people are gay, straight, whatever, but, like, the odd things that people demand in these 82 genders and all this weird shit, that just is so bizarre. And the people that... These people are so worried about things that aren't real. You know? Like, if you guys were focused on, like, I don't know, being successful as opposed to writing a blog on fucking Tumblr, the whole world would be awesome because everyone would be more successful and better adjusted to whatever. But all they want to do is bitch and complain. Oh, you know, reverse rape is real. No, there's no such thing as reverse rape. Like, all these things, these people, these causes they make up are just so off-putting that it makes me not even want to interact with other people out there.
Dion, where you at?
You know, I think you both bring up very good points. From this perspective, I think that, you know, I think that the biggest thing, especially in entertainment and even politically, the problem is, you know, there's this antithesis to wanting to have a conversation. So there's been one train of thought for so long, and parts of it were good, parts of it were really bad. We can all agree on that, but no one wants to come up with, you know, hey, well, this is what was bad. No, this is what was bad. No, but this is the bad thing. But no one wants to actually. They just want to say, hey, you're wrong because, oh fuck, you know, you're young, or you're wrong because, oh, you're fucking old and you believe this old bullshit. No one wants to have an actual dialogue, and I think that's what is so apparent in entertainment. As you know, we've said multiple times, entertainment is the fucking mirror by which we all live. You know, you saw it with Ghostbusters. You see it with the election. It's fucking crazy. If you say this one thing, you're a bad person. But the only thing that people can agree on is, oh, well, that makes you a bad person. And it's this fucking ridiculous inability to have a conversation that people have, you know, without acknowledging, you know, hey, yeah, Dustin and I, or Cuckin and I, are pretty much the same age, but we're different dudes. You know, we both have kids. We both... You know, what we can agree on is we want to raise our kids in the best of entertainment and the best of life and all that shit. but we have different views. But instead of people conversing across those lines, there's, oh, well, you're dumb and you're a piece of shit and you like sucking dick, and it's just this weird aversion to wanting to have a conversation. I think eventually it might take a while, but it's this we're still in that reactional period of things were so this way for so long. You know, I don't know when it's going to change. I don't know when that paradigm's going to shift, but you know, it's going to take a while. But eventually, after everyone's done with the bullshit of, hey, reverse racism and reverse rape and you don't like all women casts, you're sexist bullshit. Once they realize how dumb they sound, then it'll finally come to a middle ground. Hey, let's have a conversation about what we want to see and what we want to do. And like I said, that may take years, but eventually I think it'll even out.
Well, you were talking about this whole reverse racism thing. This whole anti-white movement is not going to fly for very long.
No,
that's why when Blendon Field was talking about indoctrinating people, I think the pendulum is on the way back to the other side, where there's going to be an extremist, like, anti-minority. I'm not saying forever, but it's going to swing the other way, maybe briefly, but it's going to get to a point where it's like, oh shit, we're back to this again, and it's because of people pushing for the other way. It's like, look,
right, and I think
you got to be judged on your merits. I don't care if you're black or white, but if you're a black chick and you're not as qualified as the white guy should get the job based on qualifications. It should be a meritocracy, not we need to fill a quota.
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
I got a black girl coworker. Love her to death. And by to death, I mean her ass. I love her ass.
Is it big?
I cannot lie. But I just got promoted by my company. I'm going to be in a new position where I am the digital marketing coordinator. And I've had the same job as this girl has for the 5 months I've been here. And she literally said, they hand you everything. And then brought up the fact that I probably make more money because I'm a male, and I have privilege because I'm white. And I'm just thinking, no, it's simply because I do the job better. But with her, with other people like her, all they see is, oh, the only reason he got that is because he's a middle-class white male. And that fucking sucks to hear, because I busted my ass and done a lot of extra shit and really honed my craft to get to where I'm at. And then to be discredited because of, I don't know.
It fucking sucks because of the way you look, right? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but Dion, in this case...
See, this is that reverse racism shit, though. Dion's okay with it because it happened to black people.
No. See, that's the crazy. That's the thing.
Now.
That's the thing, right? So I said something,
and he goes, "Oh, shouldn't be whining because it happened to other people."
No. But again, you already are jumping off that thing, and that's what I'm talking about, right? So all I'm saying is we can all agree judging someone by their looks is bad, and we all can agree that has happened in the past. And again, we can all agree that you getting that job because of your ability to do the job is the best way to do it. Obviously, right? Because you're good at what you're a smart dude. You know, your weird aversion to Cox is kind of weird, but you're a smart fucking guy. But the antithesis of that is I've had the job that I've had for a long time. I've been promoted, luckily, and personally for me, it's the same way. I've been, my point of view is I earned this. They came and got me out of college. I was the one that earned my way up. I've had people from the same way say the same shit to me. Oh, well, it's a good thing that we have black guys working here. I'm glad that they gave it to you, to get black guys in that position.
That's retarded. That's
like I said, I've had people say that since jobs in college. So, but this weird, oh, well, you're okay with it. No, I'm not fucking okay with that. But this weird aversion, like, oh shit, you're okay with that? Fuck you. And that's what is so apparent in entertainment. And so, whether it's movies or comic books or anything, this weird, like, instead of us agreeing on a bunch of things and saying, hey, how can we overcome this thing together? Oh, well, you said that. That means you're okay with it. No, it doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. But it's like, hey, here's this middle ground that we agree on. Let's build on that instead of automatically finding something out of the blue to disagree on.
Well, here's the beautiful part of this when you talk about entertainment, which is what this podcast is. money talks and bullshit walks. All your agenda pushing and all your sexist phrases and all this shit doesn't work. Because you know why? Ghostbusters. Look at that movie. I don't care how you want to spin it, the movie lost money. When you push a movie in that regard, you turn off people. I hate to bring it up, but the fucking... anybody that watches TV is going to get a fucking left agenda pushed on you. ESPN, didn't they like cut 100 people because people have stopped watching it because they're putting political views in their fucking entertainment? It's a sports channel. It should be sports, nothing else. Maybe they talk about some bullshit like fishing or something. My point is, all the backlash in entertainment, because if people are being like forced down with this left agenda, and that's why they voted for Donald Trump, and that's why shit went the way it is.
But it's not just left; it's both sides. Both sides of that shit is failing.
No, but Dion, I don't care what side you're on personally.
Right.
Entertainment is leftist.
Without a doubt, you cannot say
there's
that
no
it's
even
anywhere
argument
close
on
to
that.
equal.
Yeah, it's not. You have Fox News and you have some other bullshit, but when every like little facet of it is in there, like the Tonight Show and this and that, and comedy in general, there really aren't conservative comedians because, they're not whatever. And I'm not saying there needs to be. I'm not pushing for that. All I'm saying is people don't like to be told they're pieces of shit when they're really not. Like, just because you don't feel a certain way, you're a piece of shit, or just because you were raised Catholic or whatever, you're this. No, and that's why people fucking flip out and they go the other way. And that's why my whole stance is we're going the other way to an extreme. And like with Wonder Woman, which we'll talk about later in the show, that's going to be another example. But have you noticed, which I'll just say this for later, but they're not going the Ghostbusters route. They've learned you cannot bully people into an ideology and expect their money. You can bully stupid teenagers, and I'm not talking about your brothers and sisters personally, but like college kids. Like, I'm considering going back to school. The number one reason I don't want to go back, besides money, is to deal with these types of people. Because my life is so happy that I was like a year removed from like this crazy like social agenda shit that I just barely missed out on. I don't know if I can handle that, because I might punch somebody in the fucking face, man or woman. I just might flip out because I can't handle that dumb shit. But to get back to my point, you cannot get money out of these agenda-driven things. You can indoctrinate stupid people, and you can indoctrinate children. You cannot indoctrinate the common working man or woman. My mom can see this bullshit a mile away and doesn't like it. So we'll get into that with Wonder Woman. I got a ton more to say, but let's just finish up the news unless you guys got a point you want to make.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I got one last piece of news.
Perfect.
Hellboy is being rebooted. It's going to be R-rated. It's going to be directed by Neil Marshall. I don't know who the fuck that is. And instead of Neil Pearlman, is that his name?
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. It's going to be David Harbour, the sheriff from Stranger Things.
I'm okay with him as a choice, but I don't need a reboot of Hellboy. Hellboy wasn't that great to begin with. Sorry, listeners. I offended somebody.
Yeah, I remember watching Hellboy when I was in high school, and I didn't get the hype. I didn't think it was cool. I didn't watch it more than once. Normally, if I get something, I just...
theaters.
Huh?
I saw it in theaters.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just, I don't know. It was a movie.
I mean, look, I like comic books. Clearly, I've dedicated way too much of my life to the fucking things. Hellboy is fun. The first one's a good movie. I'll give it, it's a good, solid movie. It's in the top 50 comic book movies. Yeah, I mean, there are 100.
That's
it's
generous
right around the middle.
fuck.
No, all I'm saying is the second one is horseshit. The Golden Army is one of the worst fucking movies I've ever sat through. I hate Hellboy 2.
I think it's better than the first one for sure. The first one is so boring. It is.
I think that's why I like it, because it's not a bunch of it's not what's his name? Not Benicio del Toro. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking Guillermo del Toro wet dream come to life. I don't know, man.
We can agree on, but the first one, you got the fucking dude is supposed to be his caretaker. Remind him who's like. There are a lot of problems with the first one. Like, it definitely. It doesn't get me wrong.
I'm not saying it's perfect. I probably haven't seen it in 10 years.
Yeah, the top 50 though, you might want to get off the train, buddy. That shit that's a crazy thing to say.
No, but it's better than like Batman and Robin, all the DCEU.
But you're talking about the bottom of the barrel, though. That's the easy thing. Oh, it's better than Batman. Yeah, it's real easy to step over the pile of shit.
I think if somebody came to me and said, Jeff, would you rather watch Hellboy or Iron Man 2 or 3? I'm going to pick Hellboy.
Why do people hate Iron Man 2? I keep seeing that. I keep hearing people say it. I like Iron Man 2. I like Mickey Rourke.
Hillary and I were just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah, why do people hate it? I like it.
My thing is, I get the hate for Iron Man 2 because it's a little long, and you only see him as Iron Man for, comparative to the whole movie, not very much, and I get that. But the fucking, him, when he attacks Iron Man in Monaco, that's a great fucking scene. The fucking, the emotional attachment where his dad's like, you're my greatest invention, I fucking love that. Iron Man 3, the same way. Hey, I could kind of see they try to go for more of the man than the Iron Man part, which, hey, that's fine. But especially compared to fucking Hellboy. I mean, you have the most, you have, hey, the bad guy's the bad guy, he talks Russian, and he just kind of inexplicably shows up and shit. Like that, like, between those two movies, Iron Man 2 and Hellboy definitely proved, like, how not to start or continue a comic book franchise.
Like I said, I haven't seen it in a decade, okay? I'm going off of memories that I liked it. And based on my old Facebook posts, I liked Iron Man 2, but going back to watch it, I hate Mickey Rourke's performance in that movie. I hate the whole run around with him and Justin Hammer. Like, Justin Hammer, I know he's meant to look like a small-time Tony Stark, but I don't think they did a good enough job making him look like a small-time Tony Stark. It felt... I didn't like the Nick Fury presence. I didn't like the whole... I like the idea of him dying, but I think it should have been him as an alcoholic instead of this whole, he's getting poisoned by whatever builds or charges an arc reactor. And the whole building a new element, and it's hidden in plain sight and all that shit. And I feel like it's so... if you watch the rest of the MCU, it doesn't fit. Like, even other Iron Man appearances, like... I don't like the dad part. That, to me, like, he's so far removed from the dad shit at that point. Even when, in Civil War, when he's like, he killed my mom, talking about the Winter Soldier. In the way he acts with his dad, even when he could go back and relive it, he chooses to not. Like, I don't like that whole, like, daddy moment, because that feels kind of... It doesn't fit with the rest of it. I could understand, like, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it if that's how Tony Stark acted the rest of the movies. But it's not. And to me, Iron Man 2, it's almost inconsequential to a lot of the MCU. You need certain elements, like where War Machine comes from, and you need elements from, like, the Black Widow and S.H.I.E.L.D. But there's a lot in that movie. Like, Whiplash is fucking garbage, and the whole... It's just so long, too.
Ugh. I think I disagree, and I don't care what people think about me disagreeing on that, but I disagree, sir.
I mean, there's a reason I don't own Iron Man 2. I own the first Iron Man and all the other subsequent Avengers appearances and shit like that. I don't know. That's why I feel the way I do, man. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is great. I need to sit down and watch it again. Maybe we'll watch it together, Dion, next week.
I'm down. You know I'm down.
You just watch it with fresh eyes and, like, an open mind, and just... It's not that bad. It really isn't.
Well, number 3, I've seen more recently, and I do not like number 3.
I go back and forth. Every time I watch it, I either end up liking it more or, like, hating it more. It's never, like, a consistent feeling.
It just bothers me that, okay, the Dark Knight trilogy, I love Batman Begins the best. The Dark Knight's a good movie. I have problems with it, but it's not bad. And then The Dark Knight Rises is there. At least it's kind of consistent in parts. Iron Man is, like, all over the place within the trilogy. Like, the first one's so great, the second one's and the third one's... I don't know, I tried watching it last Christmas. It was on TV, and I was just like, why the fuck did this make $1 billion? There's nothing exciting about it. It's so much drama right in the middle of it. And then it's like, is he the man or the Iron Man? Do I need the suit? Well, yeah, you need the suit to fucking win with your fucking house party initiative and all this shit. It's whatever.
I just want to say that I think Guillermo del Toro is a shit director who only made Pan's Labyrinth. Like, that was the only decent movie he's made.
William the Bull?
Yeah.
That's the English translation of his name. I think he's overrated. I hated... Didn't you hate Pacific Rim?
Pacific Rim, I told this story before. I'm going to tell you it again. I had my friend's brother, who's just a big shoplifter. He went in to Meyer, shoplifted it for
God
me.
damn it!
Put it in the old PS4 with the wife or PS3 with the wife. Started watching it. We both were just absolutely disgusted and bored, and just thought it was the most fucking retarded thing we've ever seen. So I pulled the disc out, tried snapping it in half. They're Blu-rays, they're high quality, didn't snap, and I just threw it out my apartment window.
I tried watching it on TV once, and I was like, this is terrible, so I just turned it off. When Need for Speed is a better choice, you know something's wrong.
You are not lying about that, sir.
Now, I'm looking forward to the Godzilla spin-off movies and shit. If Del Toro ever directed one of those, I'm sure it'd be pretty cool.
I love Blade 2. I mean, I think he did fine with Blade 2. I enjoy that.
I forgot he made that.
Yep, Pacific Rim is giant robots fighting monsters. I've never held it in more regard than that. You know, it's not a coincidence that another Guillermo del Toro movie has Ron Perlman in it. You know, and I think, you know, him not being able to do that horror video game that he was going to do with Norman Reedus, I think is pretty much the example of his career. But he's not bad. I would agree he's overrated. I definitely agree with that. But he's definitely not a horrible director.
I'm just looking up his filmography. I like Pan's Labyrinth, and that's pretty much, I think, all I've seen Blade 2. Blade 2's fine. It's a fun afternoon watch on Netflix. And Hellboy. Never saw the Hobbit movies. Never saw half the shit he made.
He made that New Zealand horror movie. Remember, what was that? Was it Black Sheep or what?
Black Sheep's a movie with Chris Farley.
Yeah, I think you're thinking Tommy Boy.
No. Black Sheep. There's another movie called Black Sheep. It's literally about zombie sheep. I mean, that might not be Guillermo del Toro, but
it's not, because I'm looking up his filmography right now.
Okay.
He made Mimic. Mimic was cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he made Mimic. I did like Mimic
With Mira Sorvino.
but it was the one before he did Lord of the Rings, that fucking campy ass horror movie.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
That doesn't sound familiar, but it might be it. I can't remember.
He made Puss in Boots.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my inability to recall that movie kind of explains his whole appeal. So I'm not gonna.
He just
Yep.
looks
Well,
like a
Williams.
slightly tanner Michael Moore.
He does too.
Yeah, he does. He could play a good Hellboy. He's equally ugly. All right. So is that the news for this week?
Yeah, and then I got two quick suggestions. If you got Hulu, go watch The Handmaid's Tale, and if you got Netflix, watch Bates Motel.
I'm going to give you guys a suggestion. If you have Hulu, go watch Batman and Bill. It was one of the best documentaries I've seen in years. It was phenomenal.
It was about Bill Finger getting fucked over by Bob Kane, right?
Yeah, and it's the story of a writer and Bill Finger's family fighting to get Bill Finger credit on Batman. And it's a really great story. And then I watched it and realized what a shitty ending it was, is because the first movie he ever got credit for was Batman v Superman. So, talk about a letdown.
Poor bastard.
No, but all joking aside, it was really, really well made. And it was made with DC's, I guess, input. I don't know if DC was involved, but they got all the footage from the Batman movies. So, you ever see a documentary that you can tell is not officially involved with whatever it's talking about? This one had clips from all the Batmans, and they got all the big people from DC and just comic books in general. So it was a well-made movie. Check it out. It came out on Free Comic Book Day. If you even know who Batman is, you'll enjoy it.
Dion, any suggestions?
No. You guys pretty much nailed it out of the park with those Hulu and Netflix suggestions, bro.
Now, it was weird, though. All week, everything I've been watching, like, entertainment-wise, has been about, like, like Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of like the whole dad relationship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Batman and Bill was like that. And then some episodes of Spider-Man, I'm like, why is everything I'm watching this week about the same theme?
Dad.
I'm going to watch Austin Powers 3 tomorrow and just, like, complete the trilogy of, Daddy Wasn't There movies.
Daddy wasn't there. Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Don't die, asshole.
Don't die. So, coming up, we got a movie called Wonder Woman. And a lot of people on the internet are excited. A lot of people in the real world aren't excited. And I think I'm just going to go over a little bit of the information I've been reading, and I'm going to kind of play the room and see how you guys feel about it. So, this past week, Wonder Woman was projected to make $65 million in its opening weekend. Now, originally, it was projected to make a lot more, because people are going, oh, it's DC, it's the first female comic book movie and all this stuff. But now it sits with $65 million as its projection, which is similar to Captain America and Thor. Before I go any deeper, are you guys comfortable with this number? Do you think it'll make more? Do you think it'll make less? What do you think?
It'll probably make more, honestly.
Why do you say that?
Well, you got I don't know, the fact that they're gonna really pump it up as like the first female superhero movie, the first female standalone superhero movie. So you're gonna get all the people that are into that kind of shit. They do a lot of marketing for it. I don't know what the competition's like for that weekend, so maybe you have a better idea.
Yeah, that's the problem, because see, I know you just were talking about the whole the people that are gonna go see the first female movie, but like I was saying earlier in the great debate we were having, that those people aren't enough to go out and make something huge. You know, everyone and their brother has to go out and see a fucking movie to make Avengers bank. And I think Wonder Woman's going to make less than the $65 million its opening weekend, because here are the movies that are out relatively at the same time. Pirates of the Caribbean is the week before. Baywatch is the week before. And then we have The Mummy, Cars 3, and Transformers in the following weeks. All movies that are either new to franchises, a continuation of something successful, or a continuation of something that most of us hate but still makes billions of dollars. So I think Wonder Woman's going to be in a really weird spot where, no matter the word of mouth, I don't think this movie's going to have the legs that people want it to.
Well, and I don't want it to do good, but 65 seems low for like any comic book movie at this point. Plus, like I said, they have a huge marketing campaign. They're going to play the angle pretty hard that, like, she's a badass babe, so come watch her. Like, I don't know what.
Because I think Ghostbusters might hurt it. It might have hurt that kind of marketing.
That's not going to stop him from pushing it. I mean, this other day, Crack came out with a video where, why are they not talking about Wonder Woman? And every point they brought up just ignored the fact that, hey, the universe she is in sucks. And I think...
Well, I know, but you got to be wary of any kind of internet article like that, because it's never kind of down the middle thing. It's always going to have some kind of slant to it, like, oh, she's so great, she's so progressive, she's so important. Is she really that important? Because there was the 70s TV show which was on, which was cool. Like Linda Carter, when you say Wonder Woman, that's who I think of. But like Wonder Woman's always been, and I hate to say it, within the realm of like entertainment, not just comic books, like the actual printed books, but Wonder Woman's always been second banana to Superman and Batman, always. And I don't think that changes, you know? You got your Wonder Woman fans that are going to come out of the woodwork to tell you how great Wonder Woman is, but is Wonder Woman a consistently top 5 selling book? Is she, is she DC's biggest moneymaker? No. I mean, The Flash is, I think, more successful than Wonder Woman. I think there's just an iconic status or whatever she stands for to these people that get put out before actual success. And I don't even dislike Wonder Woman. The cartoon, she's great. Like, I don't have a problem with the character. It's, I think, the people that are associated with Wonder Woman are the ones that bother me.
I can give you that, because when I think of people that like defend her and like promote how important she is and shit, there's a very specific demographic that I have in my head, and coincidentally, they all look like Joel. Just the kind of people that I think really buy into that, like offended that you don't think a female badass is cool.
No, she's a fucking... First off, she's a fictional character, and if Gal Gadot or Gadot or anyone, however you pronounce her name, really tried to fight your average dude, I don't care how much training she's had. Yeah, the thing is, like, if you want a believable female action hero, either shoot a gun that's not too big, like, I hate to say it, but like when The Rock lifts like a giant gun and shoots it, because of the way he looks, it's retarded, but it's still more believable than, say, Gal Gadot having like a fucking like 2 RPGs or something crazy like that, you know? Like, I don't buy because she's so tiny that she's supposed to be intimidating. Like, Michael Keaton was short, but the way they frame him in Batman makes him look big. So on film, he looks like a threat. She never looks like a threat. I've seen her in movies. She's, you know, whatever. And in this new trailer, by the way, I wanted to make a video on this, but I didn't. The new trailer gave away the entire plot of the movie.
What, DC made a trailer and gave away the whole plot of the movie? Holy shit, I've never seen this before.
Now, Dion, you brought up watching the Cracked video, and you said that all the reasons they named for why the movie isn't getting the praise or attention or whatever, they forget to have mentioned that the DCEU kind of sucks.
Right.
Do you think they're going to try to spin this movie's potential failure as, oh, people
sexism,
don't like women and all this shit?
Absolutely. But I think, obviously they're going to try it. I think it's gonna die down as much as Ghostbusters did, because obviously it's going to be a hard selling point that, hey, the movie isn't that fucking good. Now, again, that's me trying, to foresee what's going to happen. The thing that I see is, she's, she can't wait to see her, blah, 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 blah. Well, they just keep showing all her cool scenes with Chris Pine, right? Why do they do that? Because, hey, they want to remind people fucking Captain Kirk is in this movie. So you can say whatever, you can try and spin it to that. Hey, we wanted to make a cool a movie for those girls who don't read comic books. We wanted to make a movie for you, but we're gonna keep throwing Chris Pine in there because we know at the end of the day you're gonna fall for this shit. You're gonna see the cool dude who was in that other movie in all our previews. Come and watch it, and they're gonna fucking fall for it, and it'll make just around $65 million. But I think, like I said, that shit with Ghostbusters is going to fucking hurt it. The fact that the movie isn't going to be good is going to hurt it. I think you might start off real well, but the same thing, you're going to have that crazy drop-off, outside of opening weekend. It's just they don't know how to make a good movie. They don't know how to at least make a movie that fits what you're trying to sell without it being so fucking heavy-handed.
Hey, have you guys been to the store lately?
Yes.
Like not a grocery store, but like a section of a store that sells toys.
Sure.
Well, actually, I just bought that Superman Muhammad Ali figure set.
That's a nice looking toy.
I am so proud of that shit.
I was gonna get that myself, but I didn't, because I know you'll buy it, and I figure why not check it out.
Speaking of which, I don't mean to sidetrack you, but when you come up here, I have a surprise for you. I'm fucking excited. Continue, sir.
I'm excited too. I love surprises. No, I go to the store because I'm looking for this X-Men figure, Cyclops. Hard to find. Don't want to pay $50 for it online, but it just came out, so I have a chance. But I was in the action figure aisle, and I noticed at Toys R Us they have Wonder Woman dolls in the boys section, and they got but the Wonder Woman section itself is like so weird. It's like the people that are marketing this movie don't have faith in it. I mean, for the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, there were toys everywhere. Even though people weren't like aware of what it was, it had a bigger presence than Wonder Woman. It's kind of sad and kind of weird.
Yeah, what I saw at my local Walmart was just like an end cap with just a bunch of Wonder Woman shit, and didn't look like any had been purchased.
It's full. I mean, here's what's funny though about the people on the internet. They want to bitch. They don't make girl action figures. They don't make this. They don't make that. Well, here's the thing. Business is business, and through time, they've known that, like boy toy lines, the girl action figures sell the least. For example, with the exception of Star Wars, that's it. But, like, when I was a kid, you could go to the store, and I know this is a weird one, but, like, the Fantastic Four had a cartoon. You could never really find the Thing or the Human Torch, but they always had the Invisible Woman. Like, she was always there. The lowest selling Star Wars toy is this character named Yarna. She's a lady with 6 tits from Jabba's palace. Like, I just think like they're pushing too much. Like I said earlier, your agenda can't move product. They're trying it with this. Wonder Woman is either going to be this like spectacular failure or just barely enough to like warrant another one. And the toys, it's funny how the toys are marketed. Like at my Toys R Us, it's Batman, Superman, and there's these few Wonder Woman dolls. It's like they can't even break away from making dolls. The action figure is barely a thing. It's dolls for her, so I think they're setting themselves up for a failure. And in 6 months, you'll be able to go to Walmart or Toys R Us and get yourself a nice Wonder Woman action figure for pennies on the dollar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to buy any of that shit because it's Wonder Woman. I don't really care about the character that much. I don't buy Superman. Don't care about him either.
No, I mean I don't buy Batman or Superman figures. You know, it's you know, but then again, they're trying to go for those. Hey, you know, it's a girl. You want to buy it? It's like no, most of those people that
really don't.
They don't like what like it's fucking stop trying to make it about that. Like if you maybe made a cool figure that wasn't just because you were making a movie, that'd be different. But like even before. You know, before the Marvel movies came out, they still had cool Spider-Man figures. They still had cool action figures. So it's not like, oh, it's only because of the movies that the dudes get bought. No, they had cool figures beforehand. Like, calm the fuck down.
I mean, I would go out and support getting like a Rogue or a Storm action figure from the X-Men because they're characters that are characters, and they're not promoted because they're women. Like, Storm is a great character because she's Storm. Rogue is interesting because she's Rogue. They're not figureheads for an ideology I disagree with. Does it make sense?
No. Yeah, no. As a kid, it wasn't like it didn't matter to me that there was a guy or a girl. I was like, wow, this motherfucker can like create tornadoes and shoot lightning and do all this other cool shit. It didn't matter that she was a girl. It mattered that she was cool. Whereas with something like Wonder Woman, fucking woman is in the title of her character. Like, I don't know.
And the funniest part about Wonder Woman is they act like she's this feminist icon. She was created by a dude who invented, 1, the lie detector, and 2, had a wife, had a concubine, slept with his students, did all the... Like, he's the dude that these women would hate in real life. I find it so funny.
And her original weakness was if a dude grabbed her by the wrists.
Like, oh, this is
William
getting hotter.
Moulton Marston. Yeah, I would love if somebody would just release, like, a great... I should do it. I'm going to make a 5-minute video about the sexual nature of Wonder Woman's origins and why her being a feminist icon is detrimental to your cause, because it's built on this S&M bondage weird shit. It's funny to me at this point. It's not even like I'm wanting to hurt anyone's feelings. It just makes me laugh. Like, Wonder Woman kind of sucked back. Wonder Woman sucked back in the day.
Yes.
Wonder Woman. That's what I'm saying. Like, Wonder Woman comics aren't the biggest stories. When people talk about the all-time great comic book storylines, I've never met anyone that says, "Oh, when Wonder Woman did this." Like, maybe people talk about, when Final Crisis, where Wonder Woman breaks Maxwell Lord's neck.
Yeah.
That's it. No one goes on about, oh, the Wonder Woman arc where she did this or that. It's like, what did she do? She fought Cheetah.
That's a good point, because I can come up with like a major story arc for most characters. I can't think of one for Wonder Woman. I just simply can't. I can't think of one multi-issue series or even a single issue that was like, wow, what an amazing story. I'm so glad comic books exist.
Yeah. And I'm the guy that has thousands and thousands of comic books. I don't think I own honestly, I don't think I own maybe more than 5 single Wonder Woman issues. And it's not because I dislike female characters. I got, like I said, plenty of X-Men with Storm and Rogue and all these better characters. Just, she's never been that interesting. You know, Superman's not that interesting. They're the first of their kind, and so people, like, feel like you gotta respect them. But they don't bring much to the table. They're so unrelatable. Because the women that are out there that are gonna, like, champion this movie don't share the same values as Wonder Woman. If Wonder Woman was real, she'd probably look at these people and be like, you know, what are you? Like, why do you look like this, or why do you act like this? It doesn't, it does no good.
Yeah, the feminists that are going to promote Wonder Woman aren't going to be attractive like Wonder Woman is.
Yeah. The feminism in entertainment is just bad. I think we're going to get to a point where we're going to finally get some of those great 80s macho characters. I don't want, like, a string of stupid characters, but, like, The Rock is the perfect example. He's the biggest star for a reason. His persona is larger than life. He doesn't get boggled down by politics, and that's why he is this big crossover star. And if you want more crossover stars and crossover characters, you have to remove your character or your actor from said political affiliations or things that, like, root them in the time period of now. You know, 007 worked as a character because in the films he never got too associated with like a certain, like he grew at the time enough to where he always felt fresh. The Rock works like that because he always is kind of like this chameleon thing, but a Wonder Woman movie or the Ghostbusters are always going to remind you of that really shitty time in America.
That's a good point. When I look back on Ghostbusters, I remember that was like in the midst of some of the worst fucking entertainment and politics that I had to live through.
Yeah, it's so weird what a difference 1 year makes. I'm not saying Trump's our greatest president. I'm not going on about how it's this golden age.
And we're on the golden path set forth by the God Emperor. Nope. You don't have to say those things.
I'll just believe them. I won't say them. No, I feel like we're at a nice middle ground where things have cooled down. It's like, oh, okay. I can find shit I like in different facets of entertainment. I'm not as angry as I was 1 year ago today. That'll be December when Star Wars comes out, and I get to make this argument all again for Rey. Okay, so this has been episode 71. Do you guys want to do some fan mail?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we got a bunch of comments. So, like I said in the beginning of this episode, our view count and our subscriber count has gone up quite a bit. And that's exciting because the more people that listen to us, the more people that can help us start conversations at the end of our videos, like we're about to do right now. And it's just really, wow. That Captain America video I made has 2,000 views already. That's cool for a non-World Class Bullshitters episode. So, what should I do last week's video, or should I pass it because it's just Guardians of the Galaxy stuff?
Buy our shit.
Buy our shit, okay. That's what every pause in this show means, buy our shit.
And we'll train you guys. Anytime there's an extended pause, you will go to incarnate-studios.com.
I think what I need to do is just have, like, subliminal beats through the entire podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. If that's possible, listeners, help me out.
Yeah, help us brainwash you so we can take your money.
I'm okay with that shit.
Yeah, it helps this channel grow, son. We'll do some cool shit. So most people do not like the direction of Marvel's diversity that are commenting on our video. This video has 174 thumbs up, 9 thumbs down, so that's cool. That's a great ratio. I'm very proud of that. Most people seem to like the sentiment I have that it's funny that Marvel's flopping. Not flopping, but flailing around, like begging for you to buy their ideologically driven books. See, this is why I want people to start asking questions as opposed to just leaving comments. Like, leave comments as well, because I'm never going to expect you guys to not comment on our videos. But it makes it hard when we're on air to try to pick a great comment and keep the episode going, because we'll get comments like, wait, here's a stupid comment, and I'm going to read it on air, and I want to hear Dion respond. This comes from Dirty Old Man Bob. I still haven't heard of a woman who added anything to a podcast besides girly stuff. And then Hillary responds with, "Why are you so salty?"
Yeah, well, obviously he doesn't listen to the fucking show that often, and even when he does, I'm sure he's fucking... she said one thing. Oh, shit. That's one girly bitch. Alright, dude. Thanks for watching. At least I can say that.
I can understand if it was somebody annoying like Comic Book Girl 19 or any of the ladies that are on the Screen Junkies channel. Like, Movie Fights is unwatchable because of just the people they have, you know?
Right.
I hate Andy Signore. He's the most unbalanced judge in the history of judging anything. For example, he will let, like, if like Nick Mundy or one of the dudes goes 6 seconds instead of 5, they get the buzzer, they lose their point, they could lose the game. When it comes to a chick that Andy wishes he could sleep with, but he can't because he's a fucking hideous chode, he'll give them 30 seconds or a minute. He's like, I don't want to end this round this way. So there's double standards on that show.
Or he'll play some bullshit like he'll only prop up their position where he's like, he's like, she brings up a good point, but he won't ever be like, oh no, yeah, I mean, he brings up a good point about blah blah blah. He'll specifically try to like insert things that she missed, but he won't do that for Nick Mundy or what's his nuts? The other dude. Hal, Rudnick or whatever. It's like, come on, dude. Fucking learn how to moderate something. Jesus Christ.
If he could leave his politics out of it, I think what's the name? Dan Murrell. He's one of the better people because he's got the fucking facts down.
Right.
If they ever do another fan vote for Screen Junkies to get on there, I'm gonna do my best to get on there because I feel like one, it would promote our channel, but two, man, I could go out there. Given, because they give you the topics to study for, I could go down and cut them down because there's a lot of times on that show that they're bullshitting, but we're world-class bullshitters, and they don't ever get deep enough to the root of these problems. Right. Or, I feel like I've watched the show enough that I could pick apart everyone's argument. And the worst, not the worst, but one of them is Alicia Malone. Her arguments are retarded. That won an Oscar, that means it's great. No, Suicide Squad won an Oscar. It's not a great movie.
Exactly.
Dirty old man Bob, I agree. Continue.
Let's see. Captain America Winter Soldier is August for President's favorite Marvel movie. That's cool. That's a great one. He says Civil War is his favorite, and then Avengers. But he has Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at number 4. You think it's... Dustin, did you see it?
Not yet. I'm going Saturday. Please don't spoil it.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'll tell you the ending is...
Kurt Russell.
All right.
I don't think it's number 4 caliber, but it's a good movie. It's a great movie. Let's see. Sojo Nin tried to explain that the reason Star-Lord brought up the Walkman is because it was the last thing his mom gave him.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
that's cool. I still disagree. Whatever. Let's see.
HelloQuest 1000 is still waiting on a free hand job from Dr. Phil.
Hold up. Dr. Phil gives hand jobs?
That's what this guy's thinking.
He ain't paying attention close enough. Fuck off. Delete. Delete.
That dude's never listened to an episode of World Class Bullshitters. Okay, here's a question. This comes from Liquid Metal Pro. He's one of my favorite listeners. Who would you guys cast as Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3 instead of Topher Grace?
Ooh.
I'm going to give you the stupid answer of anybody, but give me a second and I'll think of a good one.
I saw that question. I'm trying to remember who I said. Fuck. Oh, yeah. I said Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. I think he plays, obviously he's short, but, back then he was relevant. I think he can play that angry hero thing well, even though obviously Venom's not a hero, but I think he would play that Eddie Brock turning into Venom character very, very well.
Channing Tatum.
Of course.
That would have been a good choice. But what was he doing in 2007?
Fucking Honey and what's that other shitty movie? Step Up.
Wait, was that the movie with Jessica Alba?
Yeah, they did Step Up too.
There's a reason I didn't like Channing Tatum until 21 Jump Street.
Right?
August for President says he'll be truly shocked if Spider-Man Homecoming is good. Paraphrasing a lot of these. A lot of people are just shitting on Guardians of the Galaxy. That's fine. You don't have to. Oh, Dylan Olenmiller says they haven't made a bad movie. Iron Man 2. Yeah, Iron Man 2 is the worst of the MCU. It's still not a bad movie, dude. Like, a bad movie is Batman v Superman. Or, what else is... There are tons of bad movies. I hate Armageddon. I consider that a bad movie, but maybe I'm in the minority here.
No, it's a bad movie. I still love it, but it's not good.
I see that Momo Unchained called this guy named Mark Nelson a faggot, and that just... I don't know if Mark Nelson is a faggot, but I love that word, so...
Oh, he is. Mark Nelson's a douche. Like, I'm considering blocking him from the channel right now, because that's how much I dislike him. Because he's got he's just a smug asshole, and I don't even know him, so I'm going to block him from our channel.
He did say that he normally agrees with you guys. This is the first time he's ever disagreed with you.
Okay, I won't block him. You're still a smug asshole that listens to our show, so thanks.
I just think it's funny that Momo called him a faggot, because that's an underrated...
Here's the thing, I don't trust this guy, though, because he said he walked out after an hour. No, you didn't walk out after an hour. I don't believe you. Because if you walked out after an hour, then you don't know how the rest of the movie went, so you can't really form an opinion on the entire film. So, by trying to be extreme, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by having, you've killed your credibility. So, thank you. I guess you fought my argument for me. I don't care. That's why I want questions instead of, like, comments. Oh, just give me both.
Yeah, but feel free to liberally use the word faggot, folks.
Yeah, it's world-class bullshitters. We're for everyone. NCS says, hey, lovely vid. Thanks, NCS Sounds. I've never seen you on one of our videos, but I hope you have joined, because you seem like a very pleasant person.
Probably like a British person.
Yeah. Hey, they're too nice to be assholes.
Nope.
That was pretty much it. People seem to like the Spider-Man video that I put out. Cool. I enjoyed making it. I fucking love Spider-Man from 2002. You know that July will be Spider-Man month here on the channel, so you're going to see drunk commentaries for Spider-Man's 1 through 3 and possibly The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 if I can physically do that. So expect that. Let's see. There are a fair amount of comments. Crimson Wing says he loved this movie as a kid. It's what got him into Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1962 says he loves this fucking movie. Thank you. Super Otaku Show. Can't believe it's been 15 years since the movie came out. Oggs for President loves the first 2 Spider-Man movies. Oggs, you weren't even alive, but that's why I like that you like it so much, because it goes to show you didn't have to be there to enjoy it. It pretty much stands the test of time. Random Black Guy says he feels so fucking old. Wade fucking Wilson says you are old. Queen Sheena says this movie's a work of art. Hashtag salute. Justin B6699 says people are way too cynical of the movie. They are, Justin. And Umbrum Soldier 15 says this is his #1 movie of all time. I've never met anyone that says the first Spider-Man movie is their favorite movie of all time, but I can definitely see how people would love it. I love it a lot. It's a great movie. I like it more than most Spider-Man or most Marvel movies. And you get to hear me go on and on about how much I love it in the coming weeks. So, I guess I'll check the email and we'll call it a show.
Boom.
So, of course, you can email us at worldclassbs@mail.com, the best mail.
Get Cam.
And, let's see, what do we got? Dion, do you think we got any Goop emails tonight?
God damn, I hope so. I've been missing me some Gwyneth.
Okay, the first email comes from Goop.com. It says open book. Let's open the email. It looks
If
like
it's
shit.
not about a fucking... It's not about a brick oven, I'm going to be very disappointed.
There's an ad for Thanks Mom. Shop Gwyneth Paltrow's favorite gifts to give this Mother's Day. I would never give my mom something Gwyneth Paltrow tells me to.
Plus, I highly doubt her children are going to be like, hey, Mom, thanks for naming me Apple, you bitch.
Didn't Bree and Daniel Bryan name their daughter Birdie?
Yeah.
They named a human being Birdie. And this is coming from a father who names his kids after random noises.
I was about to say, I was like, that's a deep ass observation for that guy.
Yeah, it's not as shallow as just repeating your own name and slapping a number 2 on it, but it's yeah.
Still better for the bad guy in a shitty comic book movie.
Seriously, next episode is just going to be the 3 of us. I'm going to sit here silently, and you 2 are going to talk shit for 2 hours.
Shit, better bring my best material.
Queen Sheena mentioned us on a tweet, which we got an email for, where you talk about the Inhumans. Sure. She used the hashtag Inhumans my ass. Hashtag how the fuck you anger a person who hardly knows these guys.
That's a good point.
Did you guys see the images for the Inhumans yet?
I have not. Actually. I have not.
It looks like a bad TV show, Dion. I'm going to send you an image right now. It looks like a bad
Didn't it get moved to being a TV show? They're not going to do a movie. It's going to be a Netflix show or some shit.
I think it's on ABC. Here, I'm going to send you the image right now, Dion. I hope you don't puke or die on air. I mean, you can puke, that's fine. Just don't die. I want to come visit.
Oh shit! Here we go. I'm gonna ruin something I care about. Oh, what the fuck is this?
It's shit.
Are you shitting me? That looks like, hey, we had extra clothes from Game of Thrones. It's gonna be in fucking Inhumans. What the fuck?
Well, you got... Okay, so if you look at this lineup, you have this random black dude who looks like, I don't want to be here. You got fucking... Was that Lau from The Dark Knight?
I don't...
No, is that Juntao? Yep. No, or is that Juntao from Rush Hour?
Oh, let me look at... That's fucking Juntao, dude. Fucking... Dude, fight like a man, Jeff. Fight like a man.
Wipe yourself off, you're bleeding.
You're bleeding.
Yeah, that's Juntao. Then you got, I guess, Black Bolt without his headpiece. So
and he has fucking a fucking sissy ass haircut.
He looks like he belongs in the first X-Men movie. Like, fuck, it's gonna be Cyclops, Wolverine, and this dude, and they're gonna fight against Magneto, Mystique, and Toad. That's Morph. He's gonna get killed.
Yeah, that motherfucker ain't lasting 2 seasons.
Now here's the one that bothers me the most: Medusa, with her stupid fucking wig. God, that looks like a fucking high school play.
That dress looks horrible, dude. It looks god fucking awful. Like, hey, we're gonna have dress instead of, like, you know, pants, because it's a girl. Get it? Eh.
Well, there's Crystal next to her, and I don't care about that character, even though she was a member of the Fantastic Four. And finally, there's Toph, and whatever. That guy looks just like Toph to me.
So my problem is, so you're doing a picture for fucking the Inhumans. If there's anything people want to see, it's fucking Lockjaw. Why do you not have Lockjaw?
I don't know why they don't have Lockjaw. It would have been funny if they just took a real dog and just, like, photoshopped the fucking white thing onto his head.
Seriously, that, like, if there's one thing that's gonna separate it from the rest of the bullshit coming out on TV, it's fucking Lockjaw.
Well, like you said, it's bullshit on TV. Marvel TV shows, I'm not trying to be that guy, but man, they should just stop. They all are garbage. People are like, well, I like it. Well, here's the thing. If everyone was watching the fucking show, like, these shows would last forever, like The Big Bang Theory. Ugh.
Ah, fuck The Big Bang Theory.
Don't even joke about that. God, I fucking hate that shit.
You know, I'm not a fan either. I only watched it when I was hanging out with Shira. That's really it. We got a lot of emails, or a lot of responses from Brian Lape, who's a big listener of our show. Thank you, Brian Lape. We have more emails from Gwyneth Paltrow titled Ballers, Work It, G-Money, and Skinny Jeans, but... Oh, she's got one that says, what a crock, but I accidentally read it as what a cock. I'm like, Gwyneth Paltrow, I think you would know about cocks, so I'm definitely going to take your word for it.
Yeah, I don't think you're jumping the fucking shark on that one.
Ooh, Holiday in Paris liked one of our tweets.
What?
Holiday in Paris liked our tweet.
What was the tweet?
My rant on the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer?
Huh.
That's kind of a bizarre Twitter page to like your tweet. Alright, we'll buy our shit.
No, really.
So you guys have anything else you want to add before we put this baby to bed?
I really am not excited for Wonder Woman. Like, I feel bad because I have, like, I'm just... Suicide Squad soured me. I am just going into this with a lot of venom already.
Yeah, that's... For me, that's where I am. It's not that I hate women-led movies. Hell, I saw Ghost in the Shell, and I thought it was good. It's that I hate the DCEU. I mean, how many chances are you supposed to give a franchise? My going rate is usually 3, and I've given them 3 chances. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad, and I left unhappy every time. Here's the thing. Wonder Woman could be the best superhero movie ever made, but because of what came before it, people are just not going to go see it as much. They're going to be like, oh, the last couple were, ugh. I'll pass on this one, or I'll see it on DVD. And there's going to be so many other movies that come out after Wonder Woman and before, like Pirates of the Caribbean, I think is going to be the #1 movie for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then Transformers is going to come out and be a big hit. So, sorry, Gal Gadot, your big starring role is going to be your last starring role.